Happy Sunday, baby. Or happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. It could be any day for you. For me, great day. Woo! Smash that like. Or caress it.
Akira.
It is a beautiful day to be alive after all.
The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The same problem arises in medicine because the body is a very complexly interrelated organism. And if you look at the body in a superficial way, you may see there's something wrong with it. Here's chickenpox, and there's spots that itch. You might say, well, spots are there, cut them off. So you kill the bug. Well, then you find you've got the real problem. Because you have to introduce some bugs to kill the bug. It's like bringing rabbits into Australia. And that starts going all over the place and getting out of it. Then you think, well, now wait a minute. It wasn't the bugs in the blood. There are bugs all over the place. What was wrong with this person? That his blood system suddenly became vulnerable to those particular bugs. His resistance wasn't out. Therefore, what you should have given was not an antibiotic, but vitamins. Okay, so we're going to build up his resistance. But resistance to what? You may build up resistance to this and this and this class of bugs, but then there's another one that loves that situation. It comes right in. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. See, we always look at the human being medically in bits and pieces. Because we have heart specialists, lung specialists, bone specialists, nerve specialists, and so on. And so on. And they each see the human being from their point of view. There are a few generalists, but they realize the human body is so complicated that no one mind can understand it. And furthermore, supposing we do succeed in healing all these people of their diseases, what do we then do about the population problem? I mean, we've stopped cholera, the black bubonic plague, we're getting the better of tuberculosis, we may fix cancer and heart disease. Then what will people die of? Well, let us go on living. There'll be enormous quantities of it. Then we have to fix this birth thing. Pills for everybody. Then we find what are the effects, the side effects of those pills? What are the psychological effects upon men and women of not breeding children in the usual way? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
We do not know. We have no clue.
We don't know.
We do not know.
We don't know. We don't know.
It's the place to be. Yo, my kid was singing Rick Astley earlier. My kid is 7. He's jumping up and down, singing "Never Gonna Give You Up." So what is going on?
Akira.
You know, when it was 1989 and I was 9 or whatever it was, I was not, and Rick Astley was running around the place. I was not there thinking this. My son will discover this before he discovers Oasis or whatever, you know? Oasis didn't exist then, did they? My son will discover this before Guns N' Roses. Yes. Rick Astley, immortal. What up, Mike B says, I always rush in. I am such a fool. Smash that like. What up, though? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Meaning Stream. Tonight we're doing a Meaningwave Super Request show. Request your favorite Meaningwave songs. Really, Zach, you did not read the title. I will have to somehow sneak in some kind of Kanye in there somehow. Shout out to her. We played lots of Kanye last night. Was it last night? Yeah, it was. We did play lots of Kanye last night. And this morning. Kanye season. I've nearly listened to the whole podcast by this point. Between, I'm working on this JBP Wave album. Sometimes you have to render a bass part and it takes about 4 minutes. And at 1.25 speed, you can listen to like 6 minutes of Kanye. So I've actually managed to get through most of it by now. It's amazing, wasn't it, huh? Okay, better and better, and epicer, and joyfuler and more joyfuler. Very, very joyful. It was crazy. Your boy Kanye, like I said, I've got about half an hour left to listen to it, so I don't know what happens at the end, but like the rest has been fantastic. He's like condensed just so much into this short space of time. It's like a diamond mountain, you know. But what really brought me joy is he still managed to find time to shit on Disney Star Wars. Because that is important. It is really important. That's our mythology. That's our modern myths. And those morons over at Disney Lucasfilm destroyed it. Also, by the way, Kanye made a point I hadn't even noticed before. Lucasfilm, this is George Lucas, right? But the hero of the story is Luke. Lucas. I didn't even notice that. It's like that time when I realized that Adamant was a pun. When I was about 30. I'd loved Adamant my whole life, and it took me 30 years to realize. Yeah, so therefore, Kathleen Kennedy disgracing Luke Skywalker and turning him into a sort of a space cow, tit-sucking, grumpy, miserable loser, kid-killing hobo. She must really hate her old boss, because that was him she did that to. And all of his hopes and dreams. That shit crazy. So crazy. That's such a dastardly thing to do. Particularly when you know it's going to cost you like $500 million. That's how much they lost in doing that, right? $500 million. And that's how much she spent on sticking her great big middle finger up at her old boss. Who only gave her the company, you know. Crazy. What up, Calais? Says, I'm in Pohang about to witness the Republic of Korea Navy landing exercise whilst listening to the stream because we're in the future. What? What is this world? What is this world? What is this beautiful world? Shouts out to everybody locked in. It's so nice to see you here on this beautiful Sunday. Smash that like. How you doing? Set this thing off. Oh yeah, Maria Lee Zach says there were so many different takeaways from the interview depending on who was listening. I was very intrigued to hear about the monasteries he's building. I know, that sounds epic! Like Colosseum monasteries. Which thing are we talking about? Because he was talking about building these giant colosseums for people to praise God in. That you could have 150,000 people praising God all at once very noisily. Epic! But then he was talking about like smart cities and these like epic, monasteries with plants growing up the sides of the walls and stuff of that nature, right? These are the conversations I have, and it's very nice to hear them being had on the world stage now with serious people, you know? Serious people. It's so nice.
Akira. It's for the heroes.
Because, I'm talking with the person who gave us the AMA, gave me Blue Church, Jordan Hall. And part of that is this idea, which is the religion that's not a religion, and trying to come up with a post-religious faith. Because here's the idea. This is probably, in some ways, my most radical idea. I want to do what like Augustine did as the Roman Empire is falling. He laid the foundation. He laid the cultural cognitive grammar for an entirely different culture. And then he stole the culture bottom up. He laid the cultural cognitive grammar for an entirely different culture. And then he stole the culture bottom up. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. And do everything I can. And I can do everything I can. And I can. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. The imperial system at some point clamped down again, but nevertheless we shifted. We shifted out of antiquity. We shifted to a different world. So I want to try and do that. I want to try and create the systems of meaning, the religion that's not a religion, the ecologies of practices, the communities, the networks of communities. All of this is already happening. We really empower it, both in terms of its grammar, give it the best scientific tools for engineering the practices and the ecology of practices. I basically want to steal the culture. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. Steal it away. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. And do everything I can. And I can do everything I can. I can. I want to help steal the culture away. Steal it away. Steal it away. The people who have been abusing us for such a very long time. And I usually don't speak politically because I think that political framing is often a deep misrepresentation of the issue, at least the way in which political discourse has been sort of ossified. Ossified in ways that make choice no longer really relevant. Christianity stole the culture away from the elites of its time. Now, new elites form. They always will. But the culture changed, and it changed in an important way. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I see myself doing with a lot of these other people. That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I see myself doing with a lot of these other people. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. I want to help steal the culture. Steal it away. Steal it away. And do everything I can. And I can. Do everything I can. And I can. I want to help steal the culture.
That's right. My way of trying to understand what it is to not play their game and to shift over to a totally different game, to shift the culture, is to steal the culture. The only thing I can get from history that's been able to do that are religion. But for reasons that I've articulated, I don't want, it's not personally, I mean in terms of the functionality, I don't think the standard model, the axial age model of religion is going to do what we need in order to steal the culture as deeply as we need to steal it.
Yeah! Bless up, MEC. Shouts out to everybody locked in. Appreciate you, Alec Moran, you bad motherfucker, you. Says literally anything from Westworld makes me happy. Well,
This gospel for protection. It's a song.
ooh. Well, maybe I'll play something brand new for the new What's Wave album. Huh? Maybe I will. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Maybe that's gonna happen. Oh! Yeah. Managed to carve out like 40 minutes this afternoon to do a little bit of work on the stream overlays. Just a little bit updated to the font I'm using on everything right now. Added a little fuzzy TV screen thing. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Michael Lizak says, I found my mum! Hurrah! What up, Michael? Yeah, we got your mum here. She's here with us. She hangs out here quite a lot, actually. You know, shouts out to you and her. Yo, make some noise. We got a little thing we like to do around here called the International High Five. It's a little custom we have, binds us together across space and time. It's an energy harvesting device of my own invention. Got a sore throat. I think I've been shouting a lot lately. People like, hey! Doing all that. I go, yeah. Shout less, huh? Anyway. All I need to know for the International High Five is you just tell me where you are, where on Earth, you know. Your soul is here with us in the MAZ, obviously. Where on Earth is you? The rest of you. The part of you that brushes its teeth. And, impressions of that Kanye podcast? Things you learned from it, favorite bits of it? You didn't even hear it, so you don't know what anyone's talking about? All that. I said, we had a conversation about this last week, and I said if it happened, it had the potential of changing the course of the human story. Did I not? What I've heard so far, I think I was correct. Millions of people have already listened to this. Millions of people will be hugely inspired. And a lot of things he was talking about there, they probably heard for the first time as well. There's certain concepts in there which, and there's a scale of the thinking, like a scale of the ambition. And we're bombarded with so much negativity and so much small thinking and so much stay in your lane and this, that, and the other. Like I always say, one of the things I love about Kanye, and he's always done this, I've been following him for decades now. I remember buying a mixtape of his beats on a CD and had a couple of his freestyles on it in Dalston from the bootleg CD shop back in like 2001 or something, 2000, I don't know. And I've followed him ever since. And he's just living proof of all that stuff that we talk about, all that stuff about human potential, you know, the mind, the power of the mind, the power of, you know, unlocking one's potential, all this kind of stuff, you know. So, honestly, I think, as I thought it could be, I think it will be. I think it's going to be more significant than even the Elon one. By quite a way, actually. But that's just me. What do you think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think out there? Regular father got excited at the mention of new Westworld. God bless. Sway's in the house. What's cracking, baby? Major buttons, major keys. Sean Anderson's in Prescott, Arizona. Matthew Coat, my soul is vibrating here in Hartford. God bless. Zach Sowers at Boston, MA, having a bit of a teeper. Yeah. Ambrose, Tiquaz, Nakatosh, Don. Haven't watched the Kanye podcast yet. Belvanazzi's vibing hard in snowy Kentucky. Michael in Seattle is probably in Seattle. Hasn't seen it yet. Still watching Tim Dillon's podcast. Which one? Didn't he have Little Xan on? Or am I confusing that with something else? I think I saw that in my feed. I was like, yes! Little Xan still exists. God bless. Fool Killer, South Carolina. I haven't had a chance to listen yet either. Okay. Sway, Tacoma. Watched the first hour yesterday night. I liked it, mostly the part of building homes in correlation to humanity and the cosmos. Indeed. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. Like, people haven't thought. We don't have the conversation about, like, the impact of architecture. The impact of our environment upon us. We've been building increasingly uglier and more soul-crushing buildings for decades and decades and decades, and it's got to stop. And we have to have the conversation. We're starting to have the conversation. I think it's going to be like, nowadays, like, people don't eat tubs of margarine. There's certain stuff people just expect now. It's like, even if you go to a McDonald's, there's like a certain kind of tier of expectation of like, oh, we have organic lettuce or whatever it is. I don't know. But I think that the same thing is going to happen in architecture. We're going to start demanding better, and it will just have to happen. People aren't just going to be like accepting, like, living in like corrugated prison boxes. We are above and beyond that, by Joe. What up, Alec Morand? Dundee, Michigan, on Spaceship Earth. Architectural implemented correctly is needed. Yeah. Aldous Massey. Watched it yesterday. Loved the part where he sang as a stadium crowd. God, me too. That was epic, right? Riders Donna. I'm in Scottsdale, AZ, riding my bike back to Tempe. From Kanye, my favorite thing is how he stayed positive. He did. I liked it when he paused to say a prayer and how to respond. I know. Alec Moran says, I meant architectural integrity. Where's your comment gone? Implemented correctly. Not just about making money for shit quality. Well, obviously, that's what I got from what you said. Don't you worry about a thing. Yeah. Okay. Highway says, Xan cleaned the F up. Did he? That's good. Has he still got Xanax bars on his face? I suppose he must. God bless. I mean, didn't he clean up at the very beginning anyway? I thought the whole first song was about him being off. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, God bless that little kid. God bless Diego. Yes, what I really liked about that Kanye interview was he was really careful about his language, right? You know how we've been talking about here. You've observed me going from a guy who damned everything in his speech. I was constantly damning things, and I switched it up for bless by Joe. And now I'll be blessed and everything, and I think life is a bit better. Feels like it works, And Kanye was he was working out ways to say things because he didn't want to put certain things out there into the world, because he knows the power. He understands the power of this stuff. Bye, Joe. Robert Easley's in Chicago. Hello, everybody. Let's have an international high five, by Joe. Pay attention. Aim for the elbow. If you're listening on the podcast, you can do this too. Everyone can do this wherever you are. It works. It works. Time is a flat circle and a stack of Polaroids that exist forever, okay?
Good.
Don't you worry about a thing. 3, 2, 1. Yo! Well. Kyla Shubrad in Fla says he held nothing back, reflected his genuine beliefs. I love the opportunity to know him better and watch his wheels turn. Amen. Amen to that. Perfect request here. We got a perfect request. It fits perfectly with what I'm playing. I was like, oh, I bet the request is going to be out of key or something. No, I didn't think I bet it would. I thought it might be. What would I do in the case that it was? I was already thinking of battle plans for doing creative mixing, you know. Turns out I don't need to. The song that was chosen by Mike B for our good friend. Oh no, it wasn't Mike B. It was in Madness Lies Sanity. Chose this for our beloved Meaningwave member Fool Killer, the killer of fools. He was smart enough to choose a song that was perfectly in key and in tempo with the existing song. Amazing.
These stories of mythology are simply trying to express a truth that can't be grasped any other way.
It's the edge, the interface between what can be known and what is never to be discovered, because it is a mystery transcendent of all human research. The source of life. What is it? No one knows. It's important to live life with a knowledge of its mystery and of your own mystery. And it gives life a new zest, a new balance, a new harmony to do this. What is it that life is? I find thinking in mythological terms has helped people visibly. It erases anxieties, puts them in accord with the inevitables of their life, and they can see the positive value of what, the negative aspects of what is positive. It's whether you're going to say no to the serpent or yes to the serpent. As easy as that. No to the serpent or yes to the serpent. The adventure of being alive, of living. It's whether you're going to say no to the serpent, yes to the serpent. As easy as that. No to the serpent, yes to the serpent. The adventure of being alive, of living. Dragons represent greed, truly. The European dragon guards things in his cave, and what he guards are heaps of gold and virgin. And he can't make use of either of them, but he just guards. There's no vitality of experience, either of the value of the gold or of the female whom he's guarding there. Psychologically, the dragon is one binding of oneself to one's ego, and you're captured in your own dragon cage. The power of the psychiatrist is to break that dragon, open him up, so that you can have a larger field of relationships. It's whether you're going to say no to the serpent or yes to the serpent. As easy as that. No to the serpent or yes to the serpent. The adventure of being alive, of living. Whether you're going to say no to the serpent, yes to the serpent. As easy as that. No to the serpent, yes to the serpent. The adventure of being alive, of living. The real dragon is in you. That's your ego holding you in. What I want, what I believe, what I can do, what I think I love, and all that. What I regard as the aim of my life and so forth. It might be too small.
Yeah, it might be too small.
It might be that which pins you down. And if it's simply that of doing what the environment tells you to do, it certainly is pinning you down. And so the environment is your dragon, as it reflects within yourself. As it reflects within yourself. As it's whether you're going to say no to the serpent or yes to the serpent. As easy as that. No to the serpent or yes to the serpent. The adventure of being alive, of living. Whether you're going to say no to the serpent, yes to the serpent. As easy as that. No to the serpent, yes to the serpent. The adventure of being alive. It's whether you're going to say no to the serpent or yes to the serpent.
What up, baby? Special request for Fool Killer from Inbound and Slice Sanity.
Yes, to the serpent.
From the unreleased Joseph Campbell album.
With limits, whether you're going to say
A magical classic.
yes.
Aldous Massey says, hey Akira, the Don, any news on when this Campbell album will be released? No.
No to the
No news.
yes, to the serpent.
No news.
The adventure being with limits, whether you're going to say no to the serpent.
We must continue to build clout.
It's easy as that.
We must continue to accrue clout.
To the serpent. The adventure being alive.
Which is what we do.
You're going to say no to the serpent.
Yes.
The serpent.
No. Or yes.
That.
No.
The serpent.
Or yes.
The serpent. The adventure being alive. Whether you're going to say no to the serpent or yes.
Shout out to everybody locked in, make some noise for yourselves. If you're here, smash that like.
No to the serpent or yes to the serpent.
We've been put on YouTube's incredibly naughty list.
You're going to say
We were already on one of their lists, but we're on the super naughty list now by Joe.
it's easy as that.
Hey,
To the serpent or yes to the serpent. The
hey.
adventure being alive.
I'm living.
Whether you're going to say no.
Woo. Special request here for Mike B. In the place to be. What up, baby? He wants to wish a mighty fine evening to the vibrator.
Anywhere I want, with whom I want. In any
I'm sorry, you can't be speaking over the boy. That's just so rude. Let's speak, baby.
I've been free to do whatever I want, to make the shows I want, anywhere I want, with whom I want, in any style I want. So at first I don't know any other way, and by now I won't have it any other way. Life is good. Why settle for less? Open to experience, be willing to try new things, don't have a rigid plan, accept random acts of hospitality without judgment or fear. Don't be afraid to wander, don't be afraid to eat a bad meal. You know, if you don't risk the bad meal, you'll never get the magical one. But I think most important, be humble. Be grateful. 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 Before I started traveling, I thought that the human race as a whole would turn on itself at any moment. You know, venal, petty, cruel, arbitrary, and it's true that all of those things exist in this world, but I meet mostly pretty nice people doing the best they can, often under very, very difficult conditions. I met a lot of very nice people who've done very, very bad things that conflict with my deeply held conceptions of justice, sexual equality, or acceptable practice, or religion. There are a lot of gray areas in travel, but I think that on balance, the world is filled with people doing the best they can, you know? Best they can, you know? Be humble, be grateful, 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 be humble, be grateful. I've been fired many times in my cooking career. I was not a particularly good chef. I had a lot of problems at various points in my career with narcotics. You know, I accepted failure as a chef because I was at various times a bad chef, or even a bad person. These days, if I fail, it's because I tried to do something and did not succeed, or I just was not able to do what I hoped to do or wanted to do. I would much rather that, or
much rather fail gloriously than not try. I'm not interested in telling stories with competence. I'm here to tell them with some style and originality and some creativity.
Yo, make some noise for Anthony Bourdain. That was a special request from Mike B. Bless up. It's the Meaningwave Super Request Show. Taking Super Meaningwave requests. Kyle Palmukala says Kanye West about fear of God. Eventually, pretty pleased with Wavy Cherry on top. Best believe man was making notes. Best believe your boy was making many notes. Best believe I was like, might be a couple songs in this. Towards the beginning, by the end I was like, might be a couple albums. Yo! Yikes! Shouts out to everybody locked in. Someone was asking what's on my t-shirt. It's a KLF t-shirt. That's the Jams logo, the Justified Ancients of Moo. That's what that is. They're justified, they're ancient, they drive an ice cream van. Blah. What up, though? Matthew Coates says maybe with the power of the international high five we can send the evil Tom Hanks disease to the pit of hell. Well, that's what I've been working on. I feel it. It feels to me like it's working, by Joe. Feels to me like it's working. I ain't got no Tom Hanks disease. Also, it might have had the effect of destroying the flu. Turns out some stats were just released and no one got the flu this year. Hey! Nobody died of the flu this year. Amazing. What a time to be alive. Hey. Kailash says Akira needs to eradicate Tom Hanks from existence during the New Year's stream. Man, you thinking about the New Year's stream already? Holiday season's coming up. Do you know what holiday season means? Holiday streams! That's what it means. It means holiday streams, by Jove. Halloween soon. Halloween this time next week. We'll be gone. Warning in advance, the Halloween show might be a couple of hours later than normal. I gotta go do some trick-or-treating. Hercules is very excited. He's got his Luigi costume. He's very, very excited to go trick-or-treating. Yeah. I need an excuse to scope out these deer. I gotta take my revenge on the deer. Yeah. What?
This should always feel motivated. Whereas you saw it as, I should fail, I should get knocked down, it should be messy. Do you think there's something to that?
Oh yeah, there's definitely something. Well, I know for a fact there's something to that. And that's where I disconnect with a lot of people. They don't know my story. And they think I was born this man. They see what was created. They see the end of the job. They didn't see what it took to get there. And to develop a man like this, I realized that, like to sharpen a sword, to make a sword, you have to put it through fire. You have to beat the fucking shit out of it. Repeatedly, you have to beat the living shit out of it. And so my mindset started to become that. And I realized that nothing hard comes from soft.
That's right.
When people have that mindset of I failed, it determines how you look at that. I started looking at that as a whole different way of living. Like how many people could do what you did? It's that internal conversation I started having that was motivating me. Like, I knew where I came from, but I knew where I was going. Like, how many people can come from your fucked up background? You couldn't even read. And then I put myself in a deeper hole. So all this was inspiring me. All this fucked up shit was inspiring me. Like, I'm from a guy who couldn't read. He got called nigger, called all these things growing up. His dad beat the soul out of him. Oh yeah, there's definitely something. Well, I know for a fact there's something to that. And that's where I disconnect with a lot of people. They don't know my story, and they think I was born this man. Oh yeah, there's definitely something. Well, I know for a fact there's something to that. And that's where I disconnect with a lot of people. They don't know my story, and they think I was born this man.
Yeah! David Goggins right there, something to that from the album Goggins. That was the name of the album. The album was Goggins. That's a great album if you haven't heard it. Recommend it highly. Obviously. Yeah. I also recommend that you be the hero of your own story. What up, no? Great citizens of the MAZ, make some noise for yourselves.
Akira.
Smash that like.
It's for the heroes.
You have to be the hero of your own story.
Hey.
And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. Gotta be those days you push through. This is what I want you to do. Write down what you would like to fix about your life.
Regulators!
30 pounds overweight. You want to lose 30 pounds? Do it the right way. Write down what you eat. Exercise every day. Force yourself
to do it.
The brain is the general, the troops are the body, and you get up and you do it. And then you get to write it down. You know, you're doing what you gotta do to get by, but ultimately you're not respecting yourself. I think we all have a certain amount of appreciation and respect for hero figures. We all look at the guy who never lies, always does the right thing, and fucking helps everybody out, and that's the John Wayne character, you know, that's the ultimate hero. The ultimate hero. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. And when you look at your own life and you don't stack up, you're a thief, you stole money from your wife's purse, and you don't want to smoke cigarettes, but you fucking have to, you can't do it without you smoke. You devalue yourself. You slowly start devaluing yourself. You look at yourself and you realize that if you were judging yourself, you would judge yourself on faith. You can't pretend you're the hero of your story. Hero of your story. Most people get stuck in these patterns, find themselves in the person who doesn't follow through on their ideas. When I start things, then I quit. No, you don't. No, you have started things and you quit, and it gives you a horrible sense of regret that's made you define yourself by that. You're not who you were a year ago. You're not who you were 5 years ago. You're not who you were last week. So you gotta regulate how much you dwell on regrets of the past. You really gotta be careful. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. You can be the hero of your own story that woke up today. You can be the hero of your own story that at 40 years of age stopped, got out of bed and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. going to get myself in shape. I'm going to eat healthy. And I'm going to do this. Because this is me now. This is me now. I decided this is me. And people have to realize that you are not your past. You are not all the times you fucked up. You're not all the times you were drunk. That's not you. That's not you. You are the person who's learned from a great deal of experience. This is a battle that you will fight for the rest of your life. But the key is to fight it, not to give in. Don't give in to that resistance. Fight that resistance. And in doing so, every day you do so, you have won the battle for that day. And you will continue to fight that battle. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that.
MAC! Special message from PCO Cat. Shouts out to the MAZ heroes. That's right, that's you. You know who you are. You know who you are. You. Yeah.
Providing you a healthy work environment. Why? Well, because they want people to work for them. They don't want people to realize their own dreams and escape. They want to set it up so that you stick around in some sort of an unsatisfying world. It's up to you to see that video game problem, to see that issue as it comes up on the map, and calculate your future.
Wow, baby, wow. Wow, baby, wow. MAC makes some noise. Wow, that's beautiful. Is that a real harp, Akira the Don? I hear you say. Yes, is the answer. Yes, that is a real harp. That is a lovely real harp. Real harp. Played by a real lady on the other side of the world, because we live in the future. And that's how we get down. That was Joseph Rogan, by the way, Be the Hero. From the album Experience, Akira the Don and Joseph Rogan. If you haven't heard that one, that's another modern classic right there. Modern Meaningwave classic. I gotta say, by the way, Kanye, Joe Rogan interview, that was a real example of how good Joseph Rogan is at what he does. Because, like, Joseph Rogan, you know, you just heard him. He's a superstar. He's got a lot to say. He's a massively successful guy. And he just let Kanye, you know, be Kanye. He let Kanye be great. He wasn't jumping over and fact-checking his every statement, like, jumping in there. Like, you know, his ego wasn't jumping around the place, chimping up and down the place, being like, hey, I'm a superstar. Or nothing. Nah. He was a he was a high-level professional man in that thing. Like, I was incredibly impressed by that performance. That was real powerful shit right there, baby. Hey! This one... Oh, hang on. Prince Jabrika says, how about Halloween costume contest call-in show? For Halloween. You know, there might be something in that idea. It would be pretty cool to see what everyone was dressing up as. Especially Fool Killer, who doesn't celebrate Halloween. Yeah. Liz Sunday says, exactly, Joe did not jump to fill the space. No, that was the real powerful shit, right? When there was a space, he let that shit breathe. He let that shit breathe, which allowed Kanye to then get to his next level. Some people, they never get to the next level, you know, in conversation, because people are so quick to fill that conversational space. You know, so it keeps the conversation at a low frequency, you know, because people don't have time to dig deeper for that next level. And we got a bunch of levels in that thing. Because your boy Joseph Rogan is a flipping professional. You know, and like, there ain't enough of them, you know, on the stage. That's what we need more of, baby. Is that be a plumber, be a good one, you know. Be a podcaster, be a good one, you know. Oh. Hey, Alec Moran, this one's for you. Brand new from What's Wave 20K, aka What's Wave 2, How to Be a Better Person, the album. You want grace? I want grace. We want grace. Hey, you want grace? I want grace. We want grace. Hey,
You want grace?
Hey!
Well, ask God, maybe he'll give it to you. And the theologian will tell you, yes, God gives his grace freely. He gives it to all because he loves all. It's here like the air. All you have to do is receive it. Or a more orthodox, a Catholic Christian would say, all you have to do is to be baptized, to take the holy sacrament of the altar, the bread and wine, the body and blood of Christ, and there is the grace right there. And it's given by these simple physical means so that it's very easily and readily available. Well, a lot of people got baptized. And it doesn't always take. People fall from grace. Why do they? You see, we're just talking about the same old problem. But we've put it a step up. But it's the same problem. How can I improve myself? Was the first problem. The second problem is, do you want grace?
Hey! I want grace. We want grace. Hey.
Do you want grace?
I want grace. We want grace. Hey.
Do you want grace?
What? I want grace. We want grace. Hey.
Do you want grace?
I want grace. We want grace. Hey.
How can I accept grace? They're both the same problem. Because you got to make a move. Which will put yourself out of your own control into the control of a better. If you don't believe in the Christian kind of a God, you can believe in the Hindu kind of a God, who is your inner self. You see, you've got a lower self, which you can call your ego. That's that little scoundrelous fellow. It's always out for me. But behind the ego, there is the Atman, the inner self, the inward light, as Quakers would call it, the real self, the spirit, which is substantially identical with God. So you've got to meditate in such a way that you identify with your higher self. Now, how do you do that? Well, you start by watching all your thoughts very carefully, watching your feelings, watching your emotions, so that you begin to build up a sense of separation between the watcher and what is watched. Do you want grace? Do you want grace? Do you want grace? Do you want grace?
You listening to that brand new Akira the Don and Alan Watts from What's Wave, How to Be a Better Person, the album. We had that vinyl campaign a couple months ago. We had a stretch goal to take that early mix and turn it into a brand new full-length album that would be on all streaming platforms.
So
The
that
promise is fulfilled.
no longer carried away by your own stream of consciousness, you remain the witness, impassively, impartially, suspending judgment and watching it all go on.
Lucky train.
That seems to be something like progress. At least you're taking an objective view of what is going on. Of what is going on. You are beginning to be in a position to control it. But just wait a minute. Who is this self behind the self? The watching self. Can you watch that one? Interesting if you do. Of course. That this is just as the problem of grace is nothing more than a transposition of the first problem. How am I to be unselfish? By my own power. It becomes how am I to get grace by my own power.
Hey, you want grace?
Oh, why not have one more? Since they fit so nicely together.
Fine.
Rewind.
So in the same way, we find that the watching self, or the observing self, behind all our thoughts and feelings, is itself a thought. That is to say, when the police enter a house in which there are thieves, the thieves go up from the ground floor to the first floor. When the police arrive on the first floor, the thieves have gone up to the second. And so to the third, and finally out to the roof. And so when the ego is about to be unmasked, it immediately identifies with the higher self. It goes up a level. Because the religious game is simply a refined and highbrow version of the ordinary game. How can I outwit me? How can I one-up me? So, if I find, for example, that in the quest for pleasure, the ordinary pleasures of the world, food, sex, power, food, sex, power, all this becomes a drag, and I think, no, it isn't there, so I go in for the arts, literature, poetry, music, and I absorb myself in those pleasures, food, sex, power, I absorb myself in literature, poetry, music, those pleasures, food, sex, power, I absorb myself in literature, poetry, music,
Food, sex, power, literature, poetry, music. Food, sex, power,
and after a while,
poetry, music.
Hey!
they aren't the answer. So I go to psychoanalysis. And then I found out that's not the answer. I go to religion. But I'm still seeking what I was seeking when I wanted candy bars. I want to get that goodie. Only I see now that of course it's not going to be a material goodie. All material goodies fall apart. But maybe there's a spiritual goodie that's not going to fall apart. But in that quest, the quest is not different from the quest for the candy bar. Same old story. Only you've refined the candy bar, made it abstract and holy and blessed and so on. So it is with the higher self. The higher self's your old ego. And you sure hope it is eternal. Food, sex, power, I absorb myself in literature, poetry, music, those pleasures. Food, sex, power. art. I have sold myself
literature, poetry, music,
love, pleasure,
food, sex, art.
I have sold myself
Literature, poetry, music,
love, pleasure,
food, sex, art. Literature, poetry, hey!
Oh, ain't that beautiful? Shouts out to my boy Jenj on the flute. My old school friend Damien playing a very beautiful flute there by Jove. Woo! 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 Woo!
One thing I wanted to say is,
MAC, make some noise!
one thing I wanted to say is, don't be fooled by the internet. Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer, don't let the computer use you. You all saw the Matrix. You all saw the Matrix. There's a war going on with the battlefields in the mind, and the prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. There's a war going on with the battlefields in the mind, and the prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul.
Hey! What up, though?
Battlefield in the mind, and the prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. There's a war going on, the battlefield in the mind, and the prize is the soul. The prize is the soul. Akira. The prize is the soul.
What up, now?
Be careful.
Be careful, MAZ. Make some noise for Preds. Be careful. That was Prince, and I think it was 2001. I think I said like 93 the other day, I was wrong. It was 2001, I think. Either way, man was prescient. Prescient! Yeah, welcome. Welcome one and all to the MAZ, where the prize is vibes, righteousness, glory, and sneak previews of epic upcoming records like that last one. I concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, lovingly, with justice. Hey! And on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Yes, you can, if you do everything as if it was the last thing you were doing in your life. And stop being aimless. Stop letting your emotions override what your mind knows. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. You see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life. If you can manage this, that's all even the gods can ask of you. Yes, if only believe yourself. So soon your chance at dignity, it will be on. Everybody gets one life. Yours is almost all used up now. But instead of treating yourself with respect, you have entrusted your own happiness unto the souls of others. Unto the souls of others. Through external things distract you, then make time to learn something worthwhile. Stop letting yourself be pulled in all directions, and make sure you guard against the other kind of confusion. People who labor all their lives but have no purpose to direct every thought and impulse towards, are wasting all their time, even when hard at work.
even when hard at work. Ignoring what goes on in other people's souls. No one ever came to grief that way. But if you won't keep track of what your own soul's doing, how can you not be unhappy? Don't ever forget these things, the nature of the world, your nature, how you relate unto the world, what proportion of it you make up, that you are part of nature, and no one can prevent you from speaking and acting in harmony with it. Always. Yeah, keep on degrading yourself. So, soon your chance at dignity, it will be gone. Everybody gets one life. Yours is almost all used up now. But instead of treating yourself with respect, you have entrusted your own happiness unto the souls of others. Unto the souls of others. Yeah. What? LAZ makes some noise. How you doing? That goes out to you. You. Hey, and this one goes out to you too. And this one also goes out to Holding Aces. Wanted to hear some JBP. Well, guess what? I'm gonna play you some brand new JBP. It's so brand new, it hasn't even been mixed yet. It's not even mixed. Not even mixed. I mean, I make a song, I mix as I'm going along, I twiddle, but I haven't sent it to Australia to the legendary James, who makes all my stuff mad, shiny, and lush, you know? This is raw and new. From JBP Wave, the next record currently hasn't got the name revealed.
For the moral shall take thought for the things of itself.
Rewind. I don't think you're ready. Make some noise. Michael Dodger wants to know what the last one was called anyway. What did I just play? The Souls of Others. That's from the Marcus Aurelius album, Meditations. Meditations Volume 1, because there's a Volume 2 coming up. Oh yeah, there is! Volume 2 coming up. Maria Lezak says, what exactly happens in the mixing process? Well, you'll be able to tell because you'll be able to A-B these songs. But literally, I mean, mixing is basically getting everything the right levels, sitting nicely together, the sound, the overall sonic architecture of the thing. And what will happen with this, once I get to a certain point now, I send it to a sonic expert that I work with, and he puts like really nice polishing on it, you know? He helps to make things even greater because that's his realm of expertise, you know? Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, check this out, baby. This is new. Oh!
Therefore, take no thought for the moral, for the moral shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
I spent a long time trying to figure out what that meant too, because it's another one of those lines that can easily be read as pro-grasshopper and anti-ant.
Yeah.
With the old fable of the grasshopper and the ant, maybe not. I'm not going to tell it, but the ant works and the grasshopper fiddles. The ant has a pretty good time in the winter and the grasshopper dies.
Ooh.
And so this is like a pro-grasshopper line, but it's not. It says something else. It says that if you orient yourself properly and then pay attention to what you do every day, that works.
That works, baby.
That works. That works. That works. And you can live in the day.
You have a name. You have to have a name. That makes every morning supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every morning supercharged with meaning.
Ow! The world shifts itself around your aim. creature that has an aim. You have to have an aim in order to do something. You're an aiming creature. You look at a point and you move towards it. It's built right into you. And so you have an aim. Well, let's say your aim is the highest possible aim. That sets up the world around you. It organizes all of your perception, what you see and you don't see, your emotions and your motivation. So you organize yourself around that aim, and then what happens? The day manifests itself as a set of challenges and problems, and if you solve them properly, you stay on the pathway towards that aim, and you can concentrate on the day. And so that way, you get to have your cake and eat it too. Because you can point into the distance, the far distance. Point into the distance, the far distance. And you can live in the day. Your future has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. Your future has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Everything that you're doing is related to the highest possible aim that you can conceptualize. That's the very definition of the meaning that would sustain you in your life. The issue is act and not act. Well, all hell's about to break loose and chaos is coming. It's like when that's happening in your life, you might want to be doing something that you regard as truly worthwhile. Because that will keep you afloat when everything is flooded. And you don't want to wait until the flood comes to start doing that. Because if your ark's half built and you don't know how to captain it, the probability is very high that you'll drown. And you can live in the day. Your future has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. Your future has a name. You have to have a name. That makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Yo! What up, yo?
Yourself properly. Feels like it works. Woo! Yo, that's brand new from the forthcoming JBP Wave album. Finishing that right now. Finishing that right now, baby. Whoa! 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 A wild Hercules appears.
Little thing.
What's that?
You know the rules, and so do I. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Yo! A wild Hercules appeared and sang Rick Astley to us. I mean, if that ain't nice, I don't know what is. Woo! If that ain't nice, I don't know what is. Kyla Sherrod, I got a song for you right now. Duh, duh, duh. How'd you like that new song, huh? Because your cat says tears in my eyes. You gonna let the album, baby.
Keep your head.
What up, Mimi B?
About you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah.
Oof.
If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
What up, Kaddish Rat? That was for you! Make some noise. This next one goes out to Alec Moran.
I was just thinking that Jocko's kind of... A lot of people can be real father figures for me. I have such a desperation for that energy and that connection in my life that I will latch on to people or put them in a place where, oh, I gotta tell you this. So, I saw my dad in a dream when I was in Hawaii, or in Maui. Sorry, when I was in Maui. And it was really crazy because I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. You know, when I had an adult vision. And I saw him. You know, when I saw him, it was crazy. It was kind of confusing. It was a dream, you know. And Robert De Niro was there, and Matthew McConaughey was there. And we were in Maui. My dad was in one room, eating at a table, and Matthew McConaughey and Robert De Niro were in another room. And my dad wanted to come and meet Matthew McConaughey, but he didn't want to meet Robert De Niro. And so I was trying to like mediate between the two of them. And finally,
Oh, my bad. There's a new version. I done a slight update.
I was just thinking that Jocko's kind of... A lot of people can be real father figures for me. I have such a desperation for that energy and that connection in my life that I will latch on to people or put them in a place where, oh, I gotta tell you this. So, I saw my dad in a dream when I was in Hawaii, or in Maui. Sorry, when I was in Maui. And it was really crazy because I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. You know, when I had an adult vision. And I
crazy. We were at it was kind of confusing. It was a dream, you know. And Robert De Niro was there, and Matthew McConaughey was there. And we were in Maui. My dad was in one room eating at a table, and Matthew McConaughey and Robert De Niro were in another room. And my dad wanted to come and meet Matthew McConaughey, but he didn't want to meet Robert De Niro. And so I was trying to like mediate between the two of them. And finally, my dad and Matthew McConaughey got to meet each other, which doesn't mean anything, but it was just interesting to see my father. I hadn't seen him. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. You know, I'd seen him in pictures, and I'd seen him in just, you know, imagination what he looked like or something, but I hadn't seen him really. And it made me think that my dad lives in Hawaii or something, you know? Like, I was like, oh, is this where he's been? And it made me think, well, of course this is where he's been. This is where I would be. It is stunning. But yeah, I got to see my dad, man. I got to see him. It was I just didn't know. I didn't know that he's been in Hawaii or been, you know, that he's been there. And he was healthy. He was healthier looking than I'd ever seen him in my whole life. That's what's wild. He was kind of thicker. He'd been eating. His hair was darker. And he was laughing, man. He was laughing. He was kind of being cool, trying to a little bit play it cool or be cool, I guess. I don't know. I mean, he lives in that world, in the subconscious or in dream world. So I have no idea what his life is like there. He may drive a Corvette. I don't know. I didn't see, the parking lot or anything like that. I just saw just him. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. I saw my dad in a dream. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision.
I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision. I saw my dad in a dream. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Even in a vision.
And man, right when I got up, I've just been on this kick where I've just been trying to stay more motivated, and like when it's time to get up, it's time to get up. And I need to do things, and I want to have more experiences in my life. Recently I've just been realizing like I do a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of the same things. And I'm not really having a lot of like new experiences. And so I want to have a little bit more of that. Man, I wish I'd have just laid back down and tried to go right back and see him. Wherever he was. But it's just so funny, man. I've slept in the past 20 years, I've probably fallen asleep in 42 states and 15 or 20 or 30 countries. And not once did I see my father, and then bam, I'm in Maui and there he is.
Alec Moran. Who asked us to play that? Enhance the message. I love you, God. God bless. It's a beautiful day to be alive, baby.
One thing I might mention, most writers, and I think it's an unfortunate thing, they try to write something that they think a certain audience might enjoy. I've never been able to do that because I can't put myself in the mind of other people. I only know what I enjoy. So every time I've written a story, I've always tried to write the sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. The sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. A story that would interest me while I'm writing it, as I'm waiting to find out what happens next. And I can't know what other people think, but I can know what I think. I can't know what other people think, but I can know what I think. And I feel I'm not that unusual. If there's a type of story I like, there must be lots of people who like the same type of stories. Therefore, I have always written to please myself, not to please a certain type of audience. The sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. The sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. Because you can't know the audience as well as you know yourself. And if I write a story that I'm enjoying while I'm writing it, and I can't wait to see what happens next, then I'm hoping that a large proportion of the public will feel the same way and they'll enjoy it too. So to sum it up, I have always tried to please myself, not other people. And somehow it seems to have worked. Because I guess I'm not that different than other people. I've always tried to write the sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. The sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. The sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. The sort of story that I myself would enjoy reading. So good luck to you. Thanks for listening, and I really enjoyed talking to you. Excelsior!
MAC, make some noise for Stan Lee, the immortal.
Akira.
So what he was basically saying was,
And the moral is that the realization of your bliss, your true being, comes when you have put aside passing moment with its terror and with its temptations and its statement of requirements of life. That you should live this way. Well, I always tell my students, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. I say follow your bliss and don't be afraid. Follow your bliss and don't be afraid. And doors will open where you didn't know they were gonna be. Your bliss, where the deep sense of being informed, going where your body body and the soul want to go. When you have that feeling, then stay with it and don't let anyone throw you off. One fine evening, I was in my favorite restaurant. At a table was sitting a father, a mother, and a scrawny little boy, about 12 years old. The father says to the boy, "Drink your tomato juice." The boy says, "I don't want to." The father, with a louder voice, says, "Drink your tomato juice." And the mother says, "Don't make him do what he doesn't want to do." The father looks at her and he says, "He can't go through life doing what he wants to do. If he does only what he wants to do, he'll be dead. Look at me. I've never done a thing I wanted to in all my life." Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. They say follow your bliss and don't be afraid. Follow your bliss and don't be afraid. And doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be.
Yeah! MAC makes bliss. Joseph Campbell, that sweet, sweet, sweet unreleased.
Wow! Most people have to be concerned with other things. They get themselves involved in economic and other activities, or get drafted into a war that isn't the one you're interested in. Most people living in that realm of occasional concerns, they all have the capacity that's waiting to be awakened. Well, we're having experiences all the time, which may, on occasion, render some sense of this. A little intuition of where your joy is. Grab it. No one can tell you what it's going to be. You've got to learn to recognize your own depths. Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. You say follow your bliss and don't be afraid. Follow your bliss and don't be afraid. And doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. It's miraculous. If you do follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that's been there all the while waiting for you. And the life that you ought to be living is the one you're living. Somehow, when you can see it, you begin to deal with people who are in the field of your bliss. And they open doors to you right there, wherever you are. If you're following your bliss, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. You say follow your bliss and don't be afraid. Follow your bliss and don't be afraid. And doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. Say follow your bliss and don't be afraid. Follow your bliss and don't be afraid. And doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. Down below there, we have what? As Jung calls it, it's like the blind spot for ego. That about yourself, of which your ego is completely unconscious, of which it has no knowledge whatsoever. This shadow, in Jung's terminology, corresponds almost precisely to the Freudian unconscious. The Freudian unconscious is constituted of repressed experiences, repressed shocks. And it is these shocks that have set up the slant, the posture, the structuring attitude of the individual to life. It's these that constitute the personal unconscious. The shocks that will have upset and transformed the life experience of one person will not be precisely the same as those that will have done so for another. And so the shadow is the order of what Jung calls the personal unconscious. On the other hand, the self is a function of the biology of the body. We have two things here. We have a basic human biology, and we have then a system of individual experiences, both in the unconscious realm.
It's out of those centers that dreams come, that dreams come, that dreams come. It's out of those centers that dreams come, that dreams come, that dreams come. Out of those centers that dreams come, that dreams come, that dreams come. It's out of those centers that dreams come, that dreams come, that dreams come. Joseph Campbell right there from that sweet, sweet unreleased mythical album, a thing of myth and glory and wonder. What is this?
Now you see, if you do that, you do at least give yourself a chance. And it may be that when you are in this way free from busybodiness and being out to improve everything, that your own nature will begin to take care of itself. Because you're not getting in the way of yourself all the time. You will begin to find out the great things that you do are really happening. The great things that you do are really happening. For example, no great genius can explain how he does it. The great things that you do are really happening. Yes, he said, I have learned the technique to express myself because I had something in me that had to come out. If I were a musician, I had to learn how music is produced. If I want to describe something, I have to learn a language so that others can understand it. I need a technique. But then beyond that, I'm afraid I can't tell you how it was that I used that technique to express this mysterious thing I wanted to show you. If we could tell people, we would have schools where we would infallibly train musical geniuses, scientific miracle minds. And there would be so many of them, we wouldn't know what to do with them. Geniuses would be a dime a dozen. And then we would say, well, these people are after all not very ingenious. You know, PhDs, how many of them are there? Because what is fascinating always about genius is the fellow does something we can't understand. He surprises us. The great things which we do are really happening. The great things which we do are really happening. For example, no great genius can explain how he does it. The great things that you do are really happening. But you see, just in the same way, we cannot understand our own brains. Neurology knows relatively little about the brain, which is only to say that the brain is a lot smarter than neurology. Yet there is this, which can perform all these extraordinary intellectual and cultural miracles. We don't know how we do, but we did. We didn't have some campaign to have an improved brain. Oh, the monkeys or whatever may be our ancestors. It happened. And all growth, you see, is fundamentally something that happens. But for it to happen, two things are important. And the first is, as I said, you must have the technical ability to express what happens. Secondly, you must get out of your own way. The great things that you do are really happening. The great things that you do are really happening. For example, no great genius can explain how he does it. The great things that you do are really happenings. If I showed you a system, let's all practice getting out of our own way. It would turn into another form of self-improvement. See, here's the dynamics of this. And we find this problem, you see, repeatedly throughout the entire history of human spirituality. In the phraseology of Zen Buddhism, you cannot get this by thinking. You cannot attain to it by not thinking. As getting out of your own way ceases to be a matter of choice when you see that there's nothing else for you to do. When you see, in other words, that doing something about your situation is not going to help you. When you see equally that trying not to do anything about it is not going to help you. Where are you? When you stand, you're nonplussed, and you are simply reduced to watching.
What?
Brand new from that Westworld, Be a Better Person album. Like we always say, baby.
He's got clout.
Make stuff, no stuff.
Yeah, my opinion is if somebody wants to stay home, they should stay home. And if somebody doesn't want to stay home, they should not be compelled to stay home. That's my opinion. If somebody doesn't like that, well, that's my opinion.
What?
This notion, though, that you can just sort of send checks out to everybody and things will be fine is not true. Obviously. Some people have this absurd, view that the economy is like some magic horn of plenty.
Man, I need a sax on that exact bit.
Stuff, whatever.
I have to remake the song.
Magic horn of plenty, and the goods and services, they just come from this magic horn of plenty. And then if somebody has more stuff than somebody else, it's because they took more from this magic horn of plenty. Now let me just break it to you, the fools out there. If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff.
If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff.
Yeah. So, if you don't make the food, you don't process the food, you don't transport the food, medical treatment, teeth fixed, there's no stuff. I would become detached from reality. You can't just legislate money and solve these things. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff.
If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. If you don't make stuff, there's no stuff. If you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. Oh! M.A.Z. Gotta make some stuff.
There's no stuff if you don't make stuff. There's no stuff if you don't make stuff. There's no stuff if you don't make stuff. There is no stuff if you don't make stuff. There's no stuff if you don't make stuff. There is no stuff if you don't make stuff. There's no stuff if you don't make stuff. There is no stuff.
MAC makes some noise. How you feeling out there? Thank you for being here tonight. Shout out to everyone who supported this venture. This meaningful venture of meaningful waves. Bless up Kyla Sherrod. Bless up Alec Moran. Bless up Fitio Cat. Bless up Holden Aces. Prince Jabrikas XV. Kyle Palmikala. Palmikala? Palmikala? In Madness Like Sanity. Might be Maria Lee Zach. Your boy Alec Moran. You have to be the hero of your own story and your show. Thank you for being here tonight. Hope you enjoyed the previews of new stuff. I like playing previews of new stuff. It's cool. It feels joyful. Make some noise if you're feeling joyful. Make some noise if you are excited for the future. Because we am. By Jove. Here in the MAZ, we are excited for the future. We live in a world of jetpacks. Jetpacks are just one manifestation of the miracle that is the world in which we dwell. You could have been born at any time in human history, baby. Any time! You get to live in the time of jetpacks. You too! How amazing is that? You don't believe me? What do you mean you don't believe me? What do you mean you do not believe me? Ooh. You don't believe me about jetpacks? Excuse me. Look at this. Look at it, it's a jetpack! That exists now. This video was posted a few weeks ago. They are now rescuing people from mountains with jetpacks. That is the world in which we dwell. Look at it go! I want to hear it, baby. We live in jetpacks. Look, if you ain't gassed to be alive right now, if you are not gassed for the future, I don't know what to say to you, baby. We made it through the storm. The neo-psychedelic wholesome age is upon us. Butterfly season is upon us, baby. We're about to be born. And we are prepared, brothers and sisters. Some people might freak out. Not us. We've been freaking in so long, we're used to this shit. That's right, Mimi B. That's right, Patrick Smith. That's right, WMIV. That's right, Bismarck. Jetpacks! Jetpacks for you, jetpacks for you, jetpack for you, jetpack for you. Everyone's getting jetpacks. You have to be the hero. Flying around with a jetpack. Yo! And a jetpack, that's just one. That's just a manifestation. That's just like that's like a metaphor. Yeah. What up, Alec Moran says, I will say this. Civilization is granted technology 50 plus years after the government gets it. So just imagine, baby. Source, my secret clearance levels. Yo, they found him smashed up aliens, what, 50 years ago? 70 years ago. Oh, baby, just you wait. Over the next 5 years, things are gonna get nuts. Things are about to get bonkers. And I am here for that. I am excited for that. I am prepared for that. I am ready for that. And I am grateful to that. Grateful, to you. Grateful to Becky and her son Rusi. And grateful to the gods. By Jove!
Akira.
What'd they say? What they know about that guy?
He's got clout.
Oh yeah. Good point. Aye.
When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this cause they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own. Not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. Not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. So none of them can hurt me, no one can implicate me in ugliness, nor can I feel angry at my relative or hate it. We were born to work together like feet, hands and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on it, these are obstructions. Yo, discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. I say grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Yo, whatever this is that I am, it is flesh, a little spirit and intelligence. Throw away your books, stop letting yourself be distracted. That is not allowed. Instead, as if you were dying right now. Despise your flesh, a mess of blood, pieces of bone, a woven tangle of nerves, veins, and arteries. Consider what the spirit is, and never the same, but vomited out and gulped in again every instant. Finally, the intelligence. Think of it this way: you are an old man. Stop allowing your mind to be a slave, to be jerked about by selfish impulses, to kick against fate and the present, to mistrust the future. What is divine is full of providence. Even chance is not divorced from nature, from the inweaving and enfolding of things governed by providence. Everything proceeds from it. And then there is necessity in the needs of the whole world, of which you are a part. Whatever the nature of the whole does, and whatever serves to maintain it, is good for every part of nature. The world is maintained by change in the elements and in the things they compose. That should be enough for you. Treat it as an axiom. Treat it as an axiom. Yo, discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Whoa! What a glorious thing, waking up in the morning, baby. What a glorious thing, you get to have a whole day. Oh, what a glorious thing, waking up in the morning, baby. You get to have a whole day. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. I say grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Right for how long you've been putting this up, how
How many extensions the gods gave you and you didn't use them? At some point you have to recognize what world it is that you belong to. What power rules it and from what source you spring. That there's a limit to the time assigned to you, and if you don't use it to free yourself, it will be gone and it will never return. What? LAC, make some noise for yourself! Ow! You are tuned in, baby, you are here. You are here at the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. It's a beautiful day to be alive here at the peak of the world of human civilization. By Joe, thank you all for being here. What a joyful and epic thing that was. That one went out to young Rusi. What up, young Rusi?
Akira.
Yeah, this is the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. This is the Meaning Stream. This is that Meaningwave Live thing. We're here every day. Every single day, by Jove. We're here every day, every time the clock hits 7 on the CT. We're here. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. CT. Just like every morning, we're on TWIT. CH. That's Twitch. That's right, Brian Bauman, glorious and epic. That's all we can do. That's all that is within us. Glory and epic. Epic activities. Only here at the MAC. Tomorrow we're doing that JBP Wave Live Chronicle. Oh! Feels like it works. That's gonna be epic. What number are we on? Is that number 4? Is that number 4? Whoa! Counting down to that new JBP Wave record. With the JBP Wave live set every Monday. Tuesday! I do believe we have a special guest. Wednesday! I do believe it's Dune Club, Audio Book Club. What? Thursday! I do believe it's the Super Request Show. Friday! I do believe it's an epic party of some kind. Saturday! I do believe it's Halloween, by Joe. Sunday! We'll be back here. Yeah! We keep it moving just like that, by Joe. If you want to support the wave, you know what to do! Go to Bandcamp, download the songs. Become a member of the channel. Get access to those emojis and stuff. Yeah. Become a member of the Patreon. Patronage is cool. Go to Meaningwave.com, buy some epic merch. Get a Meaningwave monolith while you can. Not sure how long we're keeping these on sale for, but they definitely will be on sale till the end of the month. Because we said they would be. And then we'll check in. See how Dan is doing with making them. How much time it's taking him, all that sort of thing. It's a serious business constructing monoliths. This ain't no middle of the mall shit. Anyway, where was I with my list of things? You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all those sorts of places. We're on ThinkSpot. We're on Poland, Parler, Poland. But you know. If you want to support the wave, you know what the best thing you can do is listen whatever way you can, whatever way is within your power, whatever manner is within your power. Let the world know. Meaningwave exists. You could write it on a tree with a pen. You could write it in the sky with an aeroplane. You could scream it from the mountaintop. You could carve it into a block of stone. Bring it down from that mountaintop. You could do all those things. And no one would blame you. They would say, hey, thank you. Thank you for letting me know the truth. My life is better now. By Jove. Hurrah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Remember, all these streams are backed up on Library, LBRY. And the audio from them is on a podcast feed. And anywhere you listen to podcasts, you will find that podcast feed. Podcast feed. WMIV says, oh, that's a good idea. MAZ, carve your Meaningwave exists pumpkins. That's a great idea. Mumpkins. Of course, you can all join me, of course, for a buy five. How about that? A buy five to ring in the new week. That's where we are, right? We're new week. We're new week time. Yes, we are. So there you go, baby. Let's do it. Buy five time. 3, 2. Whoa! 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 Bop! 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 Thank you for being here, brothers and sisters. See you all very soon. Go to the Discord and hang out with each other if you want to hang out, or go to Meaningwave Radio 24/7 on the second channel if you want to hang out. And I'll see you in the morning, 7 a.m.